thanks for everybody joining on the live meeting here. We really have a pretty short agenda, so you guys saw that that was posted. I think so. At this point, we're going to call the meeting to order, and as usual, I think we're going to start off with the pledge. I don't know where the flag is, but you can find a flag close to you. And so
we should have a flag headed our direction on the screen, but yes, we will start with the U.S. flag pledge to the flag. If you would please join me. Okay. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the
United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one
state,
under God,
one
and
indivisible.
That was weird.
Well done.
All right. So let's go ahead and go on to the next agenda item, which was public comment. And I don't believe, Bo, you were just saying that nobody signed up for that?
Yes, sir, that's correct. No one has signed up for the public comment.
Okay. So we can go ahead and go on to our first action item, considering the possible action regarding postponing the May 2nd, 2020 general election to November 3rd, 2020, including the adoption of the order under the authority of the Texas Governor's Proclamation. So, Bo, do you have any words of wisdom here?
Yes, sir. As you know, everyone is aware that the governor has issued the proclamation that authorizes local entities to exercise authority to postpone their election to the next general election or the uniform election date, which is November the 3rd, 2020, without otherwise adjusting the term of office. And as you can see there, on the screen, if you have screen available, that resolution is there. I have talked to a number of other governmental entities, including the city of Montgomery, and they have already taken action to postpone the election to November 3rd, just out of an abundance of caution and to the public health and safety due to this COVID-19 pandemic. We would recommend the board consider adopting this resolution to postpone our May 2nd, 2020 election to the November 3rd, 2020 uniform election date.
Yeah, I have a question, Bo. This is David. Is the word shall or is the word may in terms of delaying the vote?
It is my understanding that it is may.
So it's not mandatory. We theoretically, we could have a May. I'm not recommending that. I'm just asking.
Correct. You're
okay. That's my only question.
And that is probably an appropriate question coming from the man who's not running for re-election.
That's right.
No coincidence there.
Jim, do you mind if I ask a question? This is Matt.
Yes, please.
So, Dr. Reese, I know we also have the runoff elections that are postponed, but my understanding of that statute is those are not, that's not a uniform election, and so we can't delay to that election. Is that correct?
That is correct. The school district only has the option to have elections on the two uniform dates in May and in November. If you were wanting to have a bond election or it's a tax ratification election or anything of that nature, we would have to have them in May or November.
Could I ask a question? On my screen is the picture of us, so it kind of blurs out. But you said something about postponed its election, and then that's blocked out, but it says it, but not otherwise adjusting the term of office. Could you explain what that means?
Yes, my understanding of that statement is that the individuals that are currently holding office would continue to hold office without their terms of office being adjusted. So that would have Jim and David and Adam would serve in their capacity as trustees until the November 3rd election. And then their term, the next term, would be shortened. It would only be a 2.5-year term. It would they would run again in May, 3 years from now. So May of 2023, it wouldn't revert back to a November 3rd election for this group of trustees.
Unless we decided to do that, right?
No, ma'am, I don't believe we have that authority as the way that it talks. The way I understand it is that it's if you postpone, then it's postponed until November 3rd. Whoever is elected would be running again in May of 2023.
Well, I talked to Susie Harvey today, and she said that you could decide to move that to November. But that would be a separate issue from this.
Do you mean
So
move
would that-
all of our elections to November?
Yes, all our school board elections to
Okay.
November.
Yes, that's a board policy. It's your decision as to
Yeah.
when you have those. And the board could certainly move every election to November if they chose to. Just in this particular instance, I think was what the question was related to, that adjusting the term of office. And there's
Sure.
really no adjustment other than an extension in the role the three current incumbents would serve.
So it would lengthen these officers' term of office, but it would shorten the next ones that are elected.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, Bo, I have a question. So would the filing date be reopened, allowing additional people that maybe didn't run to begin with, that would allow them the opportunity to run this time around?
No, sir. That's part of the rules, if you will, for this, and the guidelines say that the filing period is complete. No one else can file to run for the office. It's just simply postponing it until that November 3rd.
So the field is locked.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do I have any other questions from the board? I think, Bo, I already mentioned this, and I think that I need to abstain from this vote. And I'm sure Adam probably feels the same. He can speak for himself, but so it's probably just going to be the 5.
Yes, I agree. I don't feel like as a candidate in this election, I should be one to vote to extend my own term by another 6 months. I don't think that's the right decision. So I'll leave it up to the other board members to do that.
Okay. We would recommend the board consider approving this resolution to postpone the May 2nd, 2020 election to the November 3rd, 2020 uniform election date.
So, Bo, I'll be glad to make that recommendation or make that motion. We just want to throw one more comment in there, Jim, if you don't mind. And that is, certainly this is a fluid and developing situation and time for us. And if the governor should come back and say, hey, we're going to let you have XYZ date and y'all could do this a little earlier, that would be my preference, just so that we don't have to, I know we'll have at least one new board member. I don't want to have to start the school year, and then throw everything up in the air. But
Agreed.
yeah, if they come back and say, we'll let you do something special, I would like us to consider that again.
Yeah, and Matt, to that, I would concur with you as well, just because to me, we're not making a motion, or you're not making a motion to extend their sentences. I think we're making a motion to postpone this vote just from a standpoint of the amount of people that are going to be here and the safety issues. So I agree with you. If it were to come up in June or July and they say, hey, y'all can have this vote then I concur with that.
I think that might have been a Freudian slip when you
I
said
think
sentences versus
Maybe,
terms.
maybe that came from David.
Maybe so. After
funny.
middle of the second term, maybe, sir.
So,
All right.
so with that, Dr. Reese and Mr. Dossier, I would say I'll make the motion to postpone the elections until November 3rd with the option of revisiting if new information becomes available.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is David. Aye.
Okay, so I think I have an aye from everyone. Did I have any nays? Okay, motion passes. And I think that was the only item on the agenda. So at this point, I think we can adjourn.